Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is girl CLASSYMEALI and I'm back with another video. So unbox this nail dryer lamp with me. So this is a manual. Get three stuff: the manual, this is the lamp plus the adapter. hmm Right now, but I don't know why I can press 30 seconds, or 10 seconds. But you know why I can press that far when I see everybody, I use 60 seconds. Oh, I feel. No, no, I'm but yeah. So I'm on 60 seconds now. Soon finish countdown. I'll be back. 0. So now it finished, it dry. It's literally 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Yeah, my angle that. So now let's get right into my video. So right here, yeah. Set the shine off and nail plus push back your cube so look up bit, not much because I'm doing a pop offset. Yeah. So here's a little close up look.
There lived a beautiful girl called Ifoma. She was loved and admired by all the villagers. The maidens in the village all envied her long and natural hair. Ifoma was so beautiful that even though she was always seen in poor and cheap clothes, her beauty still couldn't be hidden. Her father died when Ifoma was still very young, so her mother remarried a rich farmer who took care of her and her mother with so much love. And even though he had a rude and disrespectful little daughter, he tried to balance up the love. Ifoma's world suddenly changed the night her mother died. After her mother died, her stepfather became another human being entirely. He would only shower his daughter with gifts and attention. He turned Ifoma to his unpaid maid. Ifoma would do all the whole chores in the house, serve her stepfather and stepsister, and on top of that, received a lot of insults and abuses from her stepsister Cheta. Very soon, her stepfather remarried again, and when his new wife came and saw the way Ifoma was being treated, she joined. She would give Ifoma the smallest food, make her do the most hectic chores, and the only clothes Ifoma had access to was Cheta's worn-out clothes. Ifoma developed a coping mechanism to cope with all the pain, which was dancing. Anytime something hurtful was done to her, she would dance the pain away. Cheta was secretly extremely jealous of Ifoma's beauty, because even though she was always seen on rags, she still stole the hearts of many men and attracted a lot of attention, whereas Cheta, who always looked expensive, hardly turned heads. One day, the Igwe announced that his son has decided to take a wife and a dancing competition will be held, and the best and most beautiful dancer would be picked as his princess. This news gladdened Cheta's heart because just like Ifoma, she was also a good dancer, and she had always dreamed of being a royal. Ifoma also decided to go for the audition because of her love for dancing and has always wanted to be in a dance competition. After the audition, Ifeoma, Cheta, and a few other girls were selected to dance in front of the royal family in 3 days' time, and the winner would become the crown princess of the kingdom. Cheta was extremely angry that Ifeoma was selected. She decided to stop Ifeoma from going to the next round. She couldn't order or force Ifeoma not to compete, because if the Igwe hears about it, she would be punished. No one could stop the contestants, so she decided to do something to prevent Ifeoma from competing. She went to a native doctor and told him that she wanted Ifeoma to be crippled so that she may never dance again and no man would look at her anymore, as they wouldn't want a crippled woman for a wife. The Dibia agreed and told her that under no circumstance should she mention to anyone that she has a hand in Ifeoma's predicament. On the day of the competition, Ifeoma tried to get up but she couldn't feel her legs. She tried everything she could but her legs couldn't move. Ifeoma, being a very spiritual person, immediately went into prayers. She prayed like never before, reached for her Bible and placed them on her legs and kept praying for hours. She started feeling her legs again and immediately rushed to the competition. By the time she got there, the dancers had already finished dancing and she begged to be given another chance but was denied. The crown prince saw her and immediately loved what he saw. He instructed for her to be allowed. Cheta, seeing all this, couldn't believe her eyes. Ifeoma danced her heart out and wowed the whole crowd and was announced the winner. Cheta couldn't believe her ears. She couldn't take it. She screamed and shouted at Ifeoma, saying, "How come? How are you able to walk? I made sure you were crippled." Immediately those words left her mouth, Cheta ran mad. Ifeoma then became the crown princess of the kingdom. Her stepfather and stepmother all fell on their knees and asked for her forgiveness. She forgave them, and as for Cheta, she kept roaming around the village with her madness.
Once upon a time, there are two best friends named Maya and Maria. Maya and Maria were students at the OAU University. They became good friends, supporting each other through the challenges of school. Their friendship was a shining light in the difficult times of university life. Maya was a fun-loving and energetic person who always made people laugh. Maria was a steady and loyal friend who was always there for Maya. Together, they faced the challenges of university life, and their friendship only grew stronger over time. In their final year of university, Maya met Martins, and they quickly fell in love. Everyone on campus was talking about them, and Maya was completely smitten. But there was a storm on the horizon that would test the strength of Maya's friendship and relationship. While Maya was caught up in her new romance, Maria was single but content with her life. She was always there to support Maya, even as she secretly longed for a love of her own. But she never let her own desires get in the way of her friendship with Maya. As Maya and Martin's relationship grew, things started to change between Maya and Maria. Maya noticed that something didn't feel right about her friend and her boyfriend, but she brushed her concerns aside. She didn't want to believe that her friend could do anything to hurt her. In a moment of horror, Maya saw Maria and Martins together in a way she never expected. Realization that her best friend had betrayed her hit her like a punch to the gut. She felt the pain of the betrayal deep in her heart. The hardest part was that Maria didn't seem to care about what she had done. Instead, she said that Maya was selfish because she had everything she needed and she acted like she owned the world. Maya stood there, frozen in shock. Eventually, she left, broken-hearted and confused. But Maria wasn't done. She went around the campus telling everyone that Maya had stolen her boyfriend. The constant gossiping and bullying became too much for Maya, so she decided to transfer to another university. She knew that this was what Maria wanted all along, but she had no choice. Maya hoped that her new school would be different and that she could start over. She didn't know what the future held, but she was determined to make the best of it. When Maya arrived at her new school, she was greeted with kindness and a sense of belonging. With time, she was able to leave her past behind and begin a new chapter in her life. On graduation day, she was not only celebrating her accomplishment, but also found love. She got engaged to an amazing young man, the one who helped her through her struggles. It was a happy ending that she never could have imagined. While Maya was thriving in her new environment, Maria was facing a different reality. It turned out that her admission had been based on falsified documents, and she was asked to leave. Martins, her boyfriend, also left her for another woman. Maria was devastated and full of regrets for what she had done to Maya. She decided to seek out Maya to apologize and try to make things right. Maya was surprised when Maria showed up at her door, asking for forgiveness. Maya felt conflicted. On one hand, she had felt betrayed and hurt by Maria's actions. She couldn't help but feel some compassion for Maria's situation. It took some time, but eventually Maya was able to forgive Maria and move on.
In the small and quiet village of Azalea, where the sun dipped into the horizon, there lived a university called Sapa University that was specifically built for the poor masses who couldn't afford to send their children to normal universities. The students in this university were poor to the core, especially three best friends, Norma, Tola, and Zainab, who were also roommates.
Tola, Zainab, I don't know about the both of you, but I'm tired of this life. I want out. Haba. The last time I ate was last night. What kind of life is this? I have to do something. I need to make money.
Look at you, Norma. So you're tired. Okay, we are happy and content, Abby. We're happy now.
You are saying that you have not eaten since last night. Well, me, I never chopped since last week. We need to do something. We need to do something to change this.
Hey, what do you want to do now? Shut up my magic. No be my mouth now. No be mouth go bring money ni. They play my fans.
One day, Norma and Tola went to the school cyber cafe to get some assignments done. When they observed a group of boys talking about how much they made from scamming white men online, Norma's ears stood like that of an elephant. She couldn't believe the amount of money the guys were making from online scams. She decided she had found the business that would change her life. From that moment, Norma started chatting up with white men on her phone, pretending to be a white woman.
Hey, baby. Are you gonna send the money you promised today? Oh, baby, that's not fair. You promised. Oh, come on, baby. You always do this.
She tried for several months and still nothing came out of it. But she was determined until one day a white man sent her her first $1,000. She taught her two best friends how to properly do the business, and within a short period of time, they started cashing out too. They used the latest iPhones, clothes, and bags. Within weeks, they became the biggest girls on campus. No one came close. They were steadily cashing out from their yahoo. They got their first cars and became not only the talk of the school, but the talk of the town. People wondered what funded their lifestyle, and many of their peers were jealous of them.
So these girls, they do hook up. Don't be smart, you know. They know they fear. Maybe the person not go use their destiny.
Babe, forget that thing. No be hook up they do. No be waiting they give these girls money. These babes they bomb. These girls they do yaw.
Show woman they do yaw. Wait till this one they follow me the cap.
With their newfound lifestyle, Norma, Tola, and Zainab lived life to the fullest. They went to the biggest parties in town and even hosted the biggest in town. They began to hang out with rich kids and top Yahoo boys. As time went by, they decided to expand their hustle and get more richer. They went to a group of guys who would teach them how to scam foreign companies and banks plus institutions. They graduated from scamming white men on the internet to scamming foreign business owners of millions of dollars. And 3 of them became stinky rich. They dropped out of school as school had nothing to offer them anymore. They had cars and houses only celebrities dreamed of.
Norma, Tola, since we've made this much money, I think it's time we stop and use the money we've earned to start legit businesses before we are caught.
Shut up your mouth, Dad. Caught how? In this Nigeria, if we are caught, we will uncut ourselves with money. The only thing better than money is more money. Which kind of business we want do? We won't give us this kind of money where we don't make so. I beg carry that talk back one side, I beg.
One day, they had a particular scam in Dubai with one of their friends, Hush Puppy. It was going to be the biggest scam they had ever pulled.
Zainab had promised herself that after that operation, she would stop illegal business. Since Norma and Tola turned deaf ears, she would go on her own. So while they were in Dubai pulling up the scam that would turn them into billionaires in dollars, their hotel rooms were immediately busted by the FBI. The FBI arrested every single person stroke thing in that hotel room. It turns out that the police had been tracing their friend Hush Puppy, and because of him, they had been caught. The news flew all over Nigeria, and the three of them were locked up in foreign prisons. They regretted their actions and wished they had done legit businesses instead of resorting to crimes. As a result of their past records, they got 60 years imprisonment, and all their properties, home and abroad, were seized by the FBI. Norma, Tola, and Zainab all regretted their actions, but it was too late.
Chisom and Amaka have been inseparable since their childhood days. Everywhere they went, people always noticed their bond. At some point, some people thought they were twins or sisters because of the love they had for each other. They shared every secret and supported each other through thick and thin. However, things began to change the moment they were old enough to go to secondary school. The attention they both got from people was not enjoyed by Chisom alone, because as they entered their teenage age, Chisom, who was once slightly more reserved, began to blossom into a stunning young woman. Her features had matured faster than Amaka's. She developed a radiant glow that captivated everyone around her. While Amaka was still trying to find her footing, Chisom's confidence soared higher, and she became the center of attention everywhere she went. Her beauty, her poise, her charm drew people in, leaving Amaka feeling overshadowed and overlooked. The once equal friendship began to fray as jealousy began to enter the heart of Amaka. As Amaka's insecurities grew, she began to manipulate situations to make Chisom look bad. She would steal stuff and put them in Chisom's bag, which made Chisom end up suspended multiple times. If Chisom was absent in school, she would tell Chisom the wrong informations or assignments that were given, making Chisom appear unserious and unreliable. She would whisper lies about Chisom to their classmates, fueling rumors. Amaka's rumors spread like a wildfire.
Chisom said that our biology teacher is her boyfriend. Chisom said that she saw you with Gabriel in the bedroom. Chisom is fake and only cares about herself.
Chisom, who had no idea of Amaka's schemes, couldn't understand why her classmates were suddenly treating her with hostility. She would try to make friends, but people would brush her off or make snide comments. Meanwhile, Amaka played the role of a concerned friend, asking if Chisom was okay and offering fake sympathy.
Please leave all those people. You don't need them, eh? I'm here for you, okay? Leave them, I beg.
As the rumors escalated, students began to hate Chisom. They would mock her and exclude her from social events and even bully her. Amaka watched in satisfaction as Chisom's reputation crumbled. This went on till they graduated and got admitted into the same university and became roommates. As a result of being in different departments, Amaka's schemes gradually decreased as they weren't in the same class anymore. However, Chisom's charm and beauty continued to captivate everyone around her. In the school, there was a particular governor's son, Obinna, known for his quiet and cold nature and his disinterest in women. He was the epitome of every lady's dream man, and yet he remained unattainable. His cold demeanor and select group of friends only added to his enigmatic persona. But then he saw Chisom. For the first time, people witnessed him show genuine interest in someone. He was drawn to Chisom's warmth, intelligence, and beauty. Within a short time, they became very good friends, leaving the student body in shock. Whispers began to spread like wildfire.
How did Chisom manage to tame the untamable?
What's so special about her?
Amaka, watching all this, fumed with jealousy. She couldn't believe Chisom had effortlessly captured the attention of the one person who had always been out of reach, the one person she had always wanted. As Chisom and the governor's son, Obinna, grew closer, Amaka's resentment grew and she began to plot her very next move. Very soon, Obinna, the governor's son, fell heads over heels in love with Chisom, and they began dating. Amaka couldn't believe it and knew she had to do something. She wouldn't let Chisom have her dream man. So one day, she set a plan for Chisom. She drugged Chisom and invited 3 guys into their room and took pictures of them with Chisom. Then the next day, she went to Obinna.
Hello, Obinna. I know you are my friend Chisom are dating, but I will be a bad person if I don't tell you who she truly is. I feel bad that you don't know her true nature, but Chisom is into hookup. That's how she gets her money. She beds different men sometimes even at once in our room.
Obinna refused to believe Amaka and began to get angry until she showed him the pictures. His heart shattered to 1,000 pieces seeing the love of his life with different men. Immediately, Obinna's eyes widened in shock and disgust as he gazed at the incriminating photos. His mind struggled to compare the Chisom he thought he knew with the one depicted in the pictures. Amaka's words echoed in his mind.
Chisom is into hookups. That's how she gets her money.
Feeling betrayed and heartbroken, he couldn't bear the thought of her being with other men. The trust he had built with her crumbled.
Is this true, Amaka?
Obinna asked, his voice shaking with emotion.
How could she do this to me?
Amaka forged concern and sympathy, fueling Obinna's anger and hurt.
I'm so sorry, Obinna. I didn't want to hurt you, but I couldn't keep quiet about Chisom's true nature.
I need to confront her about this.
And with that, Obinna stormed out, determined to face Chisom about the shocking allegations. As he confronted Chisom, confused and surprised about his sudden allegations and outbursts, tried explaining that she didn't know what he was talking about till he showed her the pictures. And immediately, she knew who was behind these pictures.
Wait, Amaka sent you this?
Oh, it's even true. Wow. Why am I even asking that when I'm seeing the pictures?
Of course it's not true, Obinna. You know me better than this. This is a setup. Amaka planned this and I have no idea why she would do something like this.
Obinna turned deaf ears, ended things with her and stormed out. Chisom, who was shocked and heartbroken, began to see things clearly and how Amaka had been behind her misfortunes over the years. Eventually, Amaka started dating the governor's son. Chisom tried warning Obinna that Amaka was dangerous, and she had only discovered that late. But he only rained insults on her and ignored her. By the time they graduated, Amaka and Obinna got married. Obinna gave Amaka the best life money could buy, which was what she wanted. Chisom went ahead and married one of the richest billionaires in Nigeria, who loved her to the core. As time went by, Amaka realized that she never really loved Obinna and only wanted him because Chisom was with him. So she fell in love with a guy and they began dating. Eventually, she and the guy began plotting how they would kill Obinna and acquire his properties and possessions. So, unknown to her, her supposed boyfriend was hired by Obinna because he had begun to see some attitudes in Amaka that he didn't see or notice before. So the night she was about to poison Obinna, the police came in and arrested her. She was so shocked and kept pleading that it wasn't what Obinna thought. Obinna cried and regretted why he listened to Amaka. Why he didn't believe Chisom when she pleaded. He let go of the perfect woman God gave him simply because he refused to listen and ended up with the devil's first daughter. He regretted his actions and went in search of Chisom to beg for forgiveness, which he did and she forgave him. Her husband and him became friends, and they all lived happily ever after, while Amaka rotted in jail.
In a small village nestled in the heart of Africa, there lived a young girl called Akua. She was known throughout the village for her exceptional cooking skills, especially when it came to making fufu. But Akua lived an unhappy life, as poverty was a constant presence in her life. One day, while preparing fufu for her younger ones, Akua noticed something strange. As she pounded the cassava dough, it began to take shape and form into a small round ball. Suddenly, to her amazement, the fufu ball began to glow and speak to her in a soft, raspy voice.
Akua, I've been waiting for you. I hold the secrets of our ancestors and the power to heal the deepest wounds, and also the power to navigate riches of the earth.
Akua was both frightened and intrigued. She listened intently as the talking fufu revealed the story of her family's past, hidden pains, and the source of her own cooking talent. The fufu spoke of Akua's great-grandmother, a revered healer who infused her cooking with love, tears, and how her late great-grandmother's prayers in the spirit world had given life to the talking fufu. As the story unfolded, Akua felt an emotional connection to the talking fufu, realizing that it was a manifestation of her own heart and the collective spirits of her ancestors. Akua took the fufu to the farm the next day. So while having conversations with the strange thing, suddenly the fufu whispered,
Dig here and you shall find gold.
Akua obeyed, and to her amazement, she uncovered a glittering vein of gold. The fufu continued to guide her, leading her to hidden diamonds, ancient treasures, and mysterious bags of money buried deep within the earth. Akua's wealth grew exponentially, and the village was abuzz with wonder. People begged her to reveal the source of her riches, but Akua remained tight-lipped, knowing the fufu's power was a sacred trust. As time passed, Akua used her wealth to uplift the village, building schools, hospitals, and homes. The villagers prospered, and their gratitude turned to reverence. But the fufu gave her one rule. She must not sell the gold or any special stones found to single mothers, widows, and orphans. Those precious items are to be given to them without any price attached. As Akua's wealth and influence grew, her greedy boyfriend Kofi didn't care about the fufu's instructions one bit. He was consumed by greed. Kofi, eager to make lots of money, convinced her to ignore the fufu's advice and expand her business. Akua sheepishly listened and was infected by Kofi's greed. She disobeyed the fufu's instructions. Soon, her business began to suffer, and her relationships with the villagers started to fray. The talking fufu, sensing Akua's distress, withdrew his guidance, leaving her to navigate the challenges alone. He stopped talking to Akua and became a normal fufu. Realizing her mistake, Akua apologized to the fufu and sought to make amends. The fufu, seeing her sincerity, forgave her and resumed its guidance. Akua learned a valuable lesson about obedience and greed, and her business and relationships began to flourish once more. Once upon a time, there lived a wealthy and kind king called King Ihai. He was a powerful and respected man in the village. He had 8 wives, but one of his wives died during childbirth, leaving him with only 7 wives. The wife that died had given birth to a daughter. She was his only daughter and was named Adaisi. The king had other children, but all were boys. Because of this, he spoiled Adaisi silly. He never wanted her to feel the lack of not having a biological mother with her, so he gave her triple the attention he gave his other children. Because of this, she turned out to be a very spoilt, rude, disrespectful, and selfish girl. Her mother was a Korean woman, so she was mixed and extremely beautiful. Her beauty and the fact that she always got what she wanted got into her head, and she became known as a wicked princess. She would disrespect her brothers, her stepmothers, and the palace staff. She would scream and fuss over the slightest thing. Everything had to go her way and exactly how she wanted it. The king was a fool when it came to his daughter and did literally everything she asked. He even made her more powerful than his wives combined. She could do and have things that his wives
couldn't even have. This made them secretly jealous, but there was nothing they could do about it. Anytime she took a stroll round the village, if anyone as much as looked into her eyeballs for more than 30 seconds, they would be flogged and punished. She told them that they had no right to look into her eyeballs for that long, as it was disrespectful to her title.